Hey, what's up, guys? Matt here with OddsJam. Let's hammer some NFL player props for Thursday night football tonight. So we got a game, probably not an exciting game, but a game nonetheless, between the Eagles and the Texans. The second game that will be going on between the city of Philadelphia and the city of Houston, with obviously the World Series going on tonight as well. Series tied 2-2. Pretty exciting stuff there. But this video, just talking about player props that we're locking in. And of course, to find these player props, I am using the OddsJam positive expected value tool to find mathematically profitable bets that have an edge. Pretty fun stuff. So the first one that I'm going to lock in here is Jalen Hurts over 41.5 rushing yards, minus 110 at Betfred. Can also get it for minus 113 at FanDuel. Would recommend putting a unit on that as well. So 1 unit play here on the Jalen Hurts rushing yards. So this one has been locked in. So let's chat about this one. There's a couple reasons why I like it. First things first, got to start off with the math. No Big Odds priced this at about minus 121. We got it at Betfred at minus 110, or you can get it at FanDuel at minus 113. Both of those are good options. Both are positive expected value. So the no big odds, right? You've probably heard this if you've been following along with the OddsJam YouTube channel, but if you're new, the way it works is OddsJam back-tested thousands of betting opportunities, just collected millions and millions of data points, just trying to figure out, like, okay, what's the best sportsbooks at pricing odds? What sportsbooks do the best job at pricing odds? And once they collected all that data, analyzed it, made that determination of like, okay, these are the sharpest for these markets, right? It's not it's not the same for each sport in each market. Some sports books are better than others for whatever reason. Some are better than others at different markets too. Maybe FanDuel is really good at football player props. Maybe DraftKings is really good at NBA player props. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just using an example. So once they made that determination of like, okay, these are the sharp books, they removed the VIG from all of those sharp books using a weighted average. So that's another thing that's kind of cool. If there's like 3 books that are good, considered quote unquote sharp, but one of them's the best of the 3, well, that one's going to get heavier weight than the other 2. And that's how this number's calculated. So it's very important to just understand the math behind it and why it's such a powerful tool. Now, obviously, anything that shows up on the positive EV page it's going to be positive expected value. So you'll already know that it's mathematically profitable just from it showing up on this page. But it's just important for people to understand where that number comes from and why it's so valuable and why it's such a profitable betting system. But there's also things you can do on the positive EV page to make sure that you are placing the most profitable bets. And that's exactly what I'll show you to make yourself successful. So once I've determined that it plays positive EV, and by making that determination, it's just on the screen, the next thing I like to do, there's a couple things. One, if you click open a play, it pulls up where every sportsbook prices odds for it. And basically what we're trying to do here, we're trying to identify outliers, right? Is the book that we are betting at, the minus 110 at Betfred or the minus 113 at FanDuel, is that a true outlier when you compare it to the rest of the betting market? So just look at where the other sportsbooks are pricing odds. Now, I mentioned some sportsbooks are sharper than others. Pinnacle is the sharpest sportsbook in the world. That one gets the heaviest weight. BetOnline is another sharp sportsbook. They both price this at in the minus 140s. BetOnline at minus 143, Pinnacle at minus 146. That's great. That's what we're looking for. The next thing that I like to do is open up plays in a new tab, and I'll show you why. So when you do that, it pulls up where every sportsbook prices not only that individual play, like the 41.5, but where every sportsbook prices Jalen Hurts' rushing yards. So this is a page that's actually completely free to access if you want. It's just line shopping. You go to NFL.com, or excuse me, OddsJam.com, sports, NFL, you choose the game, or you can search in this little search box right here. Just search Eagles and it'll pull up. But it pulls up where every sportsbook prices a player's stat at. So this 41.5. Look at where every other sportsbook prices it, especially the ones that we care about. Like 42.5 is, let's like BetMGM, Caesars, DraftKings, Tipico, Underdog. 44.5, 3 yards higher, is BetRivers. And DraftKings actually does a really good job specifically with player props across all player props. So I actually use them a decent amount to help determine like, okay, what the true line should be. So all the sharp books have it at 41.5, significantly favoring it to go over. Or they have it at higher, a yard higher, and still favor it to go over. Like DraftKings has it at -120 to go over. The under at -110, they're favoring the over. So this is the first play. Jalen Hurts over 41.5 rushing yards, either -110 at Betfred, -113 at FanDuel. And if you want to be extra safe, you can take it at PointsBet at -120. To me, it wasn't worth sacrificing the odds for just 1 yard. So I like the 41.5 number. So that's the first one. Let me just add this one to my bet tracker. OddsJam has a bet tracker. That's completely free. Some sportsbooks you can sync, like FanDuel, or excuse me, like WinBet, FoxBet, PointsBet, some like Caesars, BetMGM, you can sync. We're working on Betfred. So let me give this one a refresh, make sure I'm getting the most up-to-date odds. And the next play that I was going to lock in here was A.J. Brown over 4.5 receptions. Now, I don't love these odds. -148. It's not very fun. But if I said Jalen, A.J. Brown just had 3 touchdowns last week on like 7 receptions. He's gone over this number a pretty decent amount, over the 4.5. And again, look at where the other sportsbooks price it. DraftKings, -175. What's this, 27 cents higher? BetOnline, 179, 31 cents higher. And then Pinnacle, all the way at -193. What's this, 45 cents higher than what Caesars has it at -148. So not super fun odds. So I'm just going to go ahead and put half a unit on this one, $50. A.J. Brown over 4.5 receptions. And that's going to be it for my player props for Thursday Night Football. We got Jalen Hurts over 41.5 rushing yards and A.J. Brown over 4.5 receptions. And that's it. So if you're tailing these 2 bets, let me know. Would love to hear it. Comment on the video with your feedback. But that's it. So thank you guys for watching and have a good one.